Andrew Steve says it's a shame that we're not forced to study philosophy anymore. It's not a prereq. And it really is a shame because Mr. Frost wrote a comment, and I'll go through it. Hopefully it won't take me that long. It'll just be one, just 5 minutes long. Nice video, but I'll show you, I have, this is my old college philosophy book, and it's got part 1, prologue on philosophy, science, beyond science, philosophy, the critical task, philosophy, the constructive task, worldviews, philosophy of life, study of philosophy, 2 approaches to philosophy, 3 steps towards understanding, the importance of terminology, qualities of the mind, learning by doing, part 2, rationalists and empiricists. I mentioned that earlier. Issue between rationalists and imperialists, knowledge, sources of knowledge, rationalists and empiricists, analytic and synthetic statements, a priori and a posteriori knowledge, restatement, the object of worship, the teleological argument, sense of wonder, the argument, the elucidation. I'll just name the titles. The non-existence of God, a naturalistic rejoinder, the failure of the arguments, a sympathetic appraisal. Part 4, the problem of evil, God and evil, the exoneration of God, the skeptical rejoinder. Part 7, mind and body, the mind-body problem. 28, identity materialism. 29, psychism. 30, dualism reconsidered. Part 8, freedom and determinism. 31, the problem of freedom and determinism. 32, the case for hard determinism. 33, the case for self-determinism. 34, the case for libertarianism. Part 7, freedom and authority. 35, society and individual. 36, the natural law theory. 37, the social contract. 38, social utilitarianism. 39, theoretical anarchism. Part 10, the highest good, and it keeps going on and on and on. It goes into hedonism, ethical pluralism, theological something or other. I mean, just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. Cultural relativism, private subjectivism, ethical theism, naturalism, transcendentalism, humanism, the fundamental problem, philosophy of nihilism, philosophy of cosmic purpose, philosophy of temporal purpose. So, there's all that. Now, I want to address the comment that Mr. Frost left. Said, nice video, but I don't find the cosmological argument too convincing. and we're going to get to the next sentence. The Big Bang was simply a rapid expansion of perhaps an earlier universe and not an explosion of light. Please correct me. Well, no, the Big Bang was. There was nothing before the Big Bang. There was no time, energy, space, or matter. Matter, energy, space, time. Those didn't exist before the Big Bang. That's why it's hard to say before the Big Bang, because there was no time. So you can't say before the Big Bang. There was no space, there was no time, there was no energy, there was no matter. The universe came from ex nihilo. That's why they very much tried to come up with a multiverse, because science showing that the universe came from ex nihilo kind of that's the cosmological argument proven right there. Going on. Expansion of perhaps an earlier universe. Well, no, it can't be. And not an explosion of light. An explosion of light? No. You had rapid expansion, and the photons were not far apart from each other until the universe expanded enough and the first visible light can be seen, and we can see that by looking back 13.8 billion years. So it wasn't an explosion. And as for it being perhaps an earlier universe, then how do you explain the redshift? The space itself is actually expanding exponentially faster. It means it's getting faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. It's not slowing down, it's actually speeding up with each passing moment. So no. And no, there was no explosion of light. So I hope that corrects you. I heard atheist websites like Rational Wiki and Iron Chariots refute the cosmological argument. Well, they can't. That's not possible. They can come up with wild theories like, maybe there's a, like a what's it called? Maybe there's a multiverse out there, but if you were to be able to detect any part of the multiverse, that would still be in the universe, and you would have to find a blue shift instead of a red shift, and everything right now is in the red shift, and everything started from a single point, and physics breaks down. All physics, all quantum mechanics breaks down. The closer we get to the Big Bang. I mean, something like a billionth of a second after the Big Bang. If we go just before that, none of the laws of thermodynamics make sense. But atheists don't like this because it's a proof of God. The Big Bang came up with by Lemaitre, and Hoyle hated it. For 100 years, it was the Roman Catholic and Eastern Orthodox proof for God. And the WMAP satellite basically said, yeah, the Big Bang did happen. And then the atheists got freaked out and tried to start arguments with the creationists, which are like 2% of all Christians. So, yeah, they really lost that battle. You might consider looking at these, but they are opinions. I think your color argument is interesting. What color argument? Could you please explain that one? I once thought of a variation of the design argument known as quote-unquote Minecraft argument, when the first cause generated a universe and not just simply causing or creating it. What do you mean, creating a world ex nihilo? Again, that's cosmology, and not only, that's also the teleological argument. You know how a world in Minecraft is randomly generated by a set of rules made up of a code full of ones and zeros? Not Minecraft, but I know that's how computers work. Don't forget that there are other people asking questions on your video called The Truth Be Told. The Truth Truth be told, Constantine's video debunked. Yeah, I have facts on my side. I know about history. If we were actually to find a let's say a grittiness to the universe that was just ones and zeros, like Kurzweil is talking about. In fact, all of the quantum physicists like Kurzweil and those guys that are trying to say we're in some kind of computer simulation, every single one of their arguments are the Christian arguments for God. The ontological argument, the teleological argument, and the cosmological argument. Why don't you believe in the cosmological argument? It's been proven. There was a point at which space, energy, time, and matter did not exist, and then they came into being. Why do you reject the cosmological view? I'd love to talk to you, by the way, even especially on Google Hangout. Peace to you.